Thanks for joining us for another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks by 𝐊𝐿𝐴𝐚 TV. I'm your host, Sage, and today we have with us Mr. Paul Greenberg, the chairperson of mydeal. And today's expert will share insights on helming the ship for the Australian retail platform, connecting millions of consumers with thousands of Australian retailers, and they are dedicated to providing customers with the best prices and the biggest range of products. They've been at the heart of the Australian lives since 2011. So as you know, we bring you the industry leaders, successful business owners, all under the one roof, to help you discover the insights of the stock markets. And today we're very lucky to share some space with Mr. Paul Greenberg, chairperson at mydeal. Welcome, Paul.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure to meet you. And with your experience, I'm glad we've got some time to share your insights on the show today. And I'm pleased to share with the audience that mydeal has increased its revenue by 150% in financial year 21. This represents a significant moment in mydeal's history. So, Paul, what were the key strategies that helped mydeal reach this milestone, please?
Yeah, thank you. It's been a very, very solid year for us. Well, one of the first catalysts was our listing on the Australian Stock Exchange in October of 2020, and so we've been, almost a year now, coming up to our year anniversary, which gave us obviously a very solid balance sheet and the support of a great group of investors. From that flowed naturally talent acquisition, technology investment and innovation, and of course, investment in strategy and product a bit ahead of the curve. And it's all coming together. Retail is still detail. So there's a lot of things that the team are doing very well indeed.
Fantastic, and congratulations. And those significant numbers are proving that your public listing was definitely worth the effort that goes into doing something like that. And your ticker code, just for the audience, please, is it MYD?
It is indeed, thank you. Yes.
Beautiful. Well, you successfully launched your native iOS and Android mobile apps in May. Please discuss the prominent features of the app that make it unique in the online retail industry, please.
Of course. Well, I think we all know we're living in a sort of a mobile-first environment. I mean, who would have picked it? I've been in e-commerce for such a long time, and I remember sort of 15 years ago, or more, talking about mobile optimized. Was the way to go. Now it's mobile first, maybe one day mobile only, who knows. But to your question around the features of the app, I would actually have to say that as always, the best apps are the simplest apps. They're easy to use. They've got all the features that the customer needs, but not too many. So we're finding the feedback from our shoppers and from our adoption of the app is just showing that it's a very, very powerful, simple way to shop mydeal, and with everyone sort of having a smartphone on them, it's just a very fast growing customer acquisition and retention tool.
Marvellous. And you've seen your customers increase significantly. Your customer base has increased significantly this year as well. And it's probably because of the user-friendly technology that is related to your brand, amongst other things, of course. And Paul, you've seen the online retail industry reach new heights, and being a lover of online retail, please talk about the ultimate relationship between retail and technology. How are you able to bring these excellent deals to the retailers and the consumers, and how has it evolved over the years in the Australian marketplace?
That's a great question, and it probably requires a fairly long answer, but I think if I have to synthesize it all, what mydeal is all about is the scalability of a marketplace. We've got over 1,000 very, very strong and nimble and agile sellers who are bringing wonderful deals every day to our customers. But that is all. But the scalability of a marketplace has to be wrapped around the consistency of a customer experience. All too often marketplaces just grow too big, and the customer experience can be somewhat, I wouldn't say patchy, but it can be very erratic and very different. At mydeal, the team focused very hard on ensuring, a very consistent experience across the 1,000 sellers, and really focusing on educating and ensuring best practice for our shoppers. And I think that really has been the combination, the scalability of a marketplace with the consistency of a very solid customer experience.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your insights there. And you mentioned acquiring the best talent possible as well to keep the cogs and screws turning at mydeal. So in your opinion, how does investment in technology and innovation benefit the retail owners in the present day scenario, please?
Yeah, indeed. Well, customers are moving very quickly, and we've always said in retail the customer is king or queen, and I think that's really more so than ever. And anything that sort of removes the friction for shoppers, but at the same time can help retailers grow their business, is what I call retail tech, and it's a very fast-growing part of the retail ecosystem. So we're all shoppers. Think of all those impediments to our shopping journey and our path to purchase. It's just wonderful to see smart retail tech companies tackling that head on. And mydeal is really at the core of it is a retail tech company, because we've got some of the very best marketplace technology, which is proprietary, which we built internally. Sean Senvertner, our founder, and his wonderful team have built this proprietary marketplace technology, which really creates this cohesive ecosystem for retailers to harness the power of many and our fast-growing, business and our fast-growing customer count. But in the broader retail ecosystem, there's a big focus on retail technology, which I think is fantastic. And, whether it's an in-store technology solution that's helping the business grow and removing the pain points of shopping, that's great. Whether it's the rise of buy now, pay later, which has really reinvented the lay-by system, which was very clunky, whether it's refunds and return solutions, the power of the end mile, collaborative consumption technology, and the sharing economy. There's so many things on the play at the moment, Sage, that it's almost hard to keep up, but it's very exciting.
It certainly is. And to think that you've pushed through all the economic downturns and supply chain delays that were associated with the last 12 to 18 months that we've just seen, and really come through with some amazing figures. It definitely shows that your strategy and planning has some clout behind it. But moving on, Paul, COVID-19 has accelerated the adoption of online shopping, as we know. So how did the Australian retail industry, in your opinion, deal with the sudden change, and how does the industry's future look to you?
Yeah, well, I think that's a really good point. The COVID-19 certainly has given an uplift to the online retailers like mydeal. But I'm pleased to say that, I wear another hat. I'm the founder of the National Online Retailers Association and the non-executive chairman, that retailers across the board, from our largest and established, bricks and mortar retailers, have also adopted and invested very heavily in technology over this period. I think all the CEOs would argue that there's been a massive acceleration in the investment of technology to really harness this changing face of retail. So I would say that we've got to give Australian retailers a very good report card, maybe as high as an 8 out of 10, for the way they've managed the challenges over the last 2 years. And of course, I'm very bullish that when we come out the other side, which of course we will, that we'll be very well equipped as an industry to take the momentum on. What is clear, though, that online retailers would love things to return to a normality. We recognize that we've benefited, if you like, from the COVID scenario, because people have seen the benefit, the safety, the convenience, the value of home shopping. But, we really think that we'd love a normal economy, and we'll continue to see this acceleration in online retail and digital retail.
Yes, of course. I completely understand what you mean, and thank you for sharing the insider's perspective there. Yes, it could be somewhat of a pandemic digital bubble that we're experiencing. It must be hard to forecast with these figures for future projections. So we have to start winding up the discussion there, Paul. But what is mydeal's outlook for building the brand further in financial year 2022? Would you like to share some insights on that?
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. Well, naturally, we're excited. We've had a very solid year, and that looks set to continue. And the investments in talent and technology are really starting to pay off. So I would say, in summary, we're going to see the continued growth of mydeal. You'll see a lot more recognized brands coming on board, because a lot of the tier one brand owners see the benefits of getting onto a marketplace journey that's going really well. You'll see the growth of our Duke Living, house brand strategy or private label strategy. Duke Living will continue to grow. And who knows, perhaps you'll see some natural adjacencies to the retail journey. We'll have to see, but I can tell you that Sean St. Vertner and his team are working very hard and are very engaged in the opportunity. So we're feeling very good about things and feeling very privileged and blessed to be in this space.
Absolutely. It's a very exciting time to talk to you right now, and thank you so much for joining us today, Paul. I'm sure your valuable insights have been enjoyed by the viewers, and hopefully the viewers will jump on mydeal to find a tempting deal that might suit them as well. And thank you, viewers, for watching. If you've just joined us, we had a very inspiring discussion with Mr. Paul Greenberg, the chairperson at mydeal. The full recorded interview will be available from Kalkine Media's YouTube channel, so please do check it out. And keep watching Kalkine TV for more live market commentaries and expert talks. And as we say, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.